All right, hi guys. Hey. Long time no see for some of you. Dick, Linda, so many of you guys. I'm so happy to be here today. So we're going to have 45 minutes, and for those of you who have never experienced me, hang on. Okay, I'm going to bring a lot of energy today. I'm going to bring 3 ideas to you guys, and let's just get started, all right? If you don't want to participate, that's fine. You can sit in your chair, and don't worry, I'm not calling on anyone today, I promise you, all right? This is all about mind and implementation. And by the way, I'm using Lucid, which is why I keep walking over here. So for those of you who are going to ask me about tech, ask me later. Okay, first, I'm going to tell you about a case study. And in fact, when I wrote this, it feels like I'm writing it over and over and over. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to read what it says. All right. Can anybody relate to one of these items on the screen? Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a repeat story happening in this industry and other service industries, so you are not alone in the relationship game business. The exhaustion, how do I grow organically, confused about what to do next. I mean, Brandon just, presented 4 items. Which one goes first? Succession, profitability, and multiples. Here's the outcome of that. Work is never done. You feel like that inbox never ends. And yeah, I know I just dated myself with the word inbox. Okay? You can't break through the noise. There's so much noise out there right now. How do you break through the noise and attract those new clients or keep the clients that you have engaged and become raving fans? Revenue's hitting a ceiling. You can't find that great rock star staff person. And tech, well, it's kind of a hindrance. It's not as much fun as it used to be. It's too much. Okay. Does everybody here know how to use a QR code? And if you don't, watch the person next to you. What I'd love you to do is grab your phones. I would love you to scan this. Let's hope it works. Okay? And I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do, because this isn't about me. I'm telling you a story. I'm helping you guys get better. I want this to be about you. So if you don't mind, take your phone, go to the poll, and I'm going to explain what I'd love you guys to do. We're going to do this together. When you get to this page, and I'm going to experience it with you, you're going to see some sticky notes. Everybody know how to do this with their fingers and make the screen bigger? Okay? I'm proving my point before I'm telling you what I'm doing, so just hang with me, okay? Boy, this is slow. Are we all dragging on this? Is everybody on the last of the red bar? Yeah, come on, you can do it. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm in. Okay, we have purple. I see a lot of names popping. All right, so go this, expand. We see growth, we see profitability, and we see legacy. I want to know where your heads are. So as I present, I tailor for you. If you care most about growth, please go to purple and drag one of those stickies down below the word growth. If you care about profitability, grab the sticky. And by the way, don't worry if you've just made a sticky really big or you deleted one. Do not worry. If you care about legacy, drag the peach down. I'm going to show you guys what you're doing. Keep going. Oh, somebody brought the legacy bar down. Do you mind if I move that back up? Watch what happens. All right, for those of you that aren't doing this, you're going to have to believe and trust in what I'm doing. I'm actually doing something to your brains right now, okay? Not in a bad way, I promise you. Let's see. Let's go find that bar. Where did somebody take Mr. Peach down? It disappeared. Oh, it's all gone. No worries. Okay. Here's where you guys are today. Let me just move this up. Okay. So we have more on growth. We have some who care about profitability, but what have I not done? I've not asked any of you a question. I've not put any of you on the spot, right? Nobody feels threatened. Nobody's scared. That's what we're going to talk about today. Okay? We're going to talk about the idea of visualization. I'm going to give you 3 techniques to grow your business, and it all ties back into this. All right, let me get back up to my slide deck. And for those of you who keep playing, go right ahead. Nobody's going to see it except for me. Okay, breaking out of the rut and succeeding. 3 things: on growth, productivity, profitability, and creating a legacy. I think we know what all those words mean. Today we're going to do 3 exercises. Role charting. I'm going to teach you something to shift your brain. And then we're going to do the 4 W's. If you do these, I can promise you, your business will grow, your team will love you, your clients will be more attracted to you. And the reason I can do that is I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of businesses doing this and thousands that I've trained on. This actually works. But until you do it, your brain won't understand it. Here's the rewards today. Quicker, educated decisions. I think we'd like that. Using less energy and money. Empowerment and less work. Check. Growth and profitability. Okay. All right. Now we're in New England, so I know some of you guys are science junkies. I'm a science junkie. Here's the science. We've grown up thinking about and talking about things. But what happens when we're talking is the other person, their amygdala is going off like this, okay? They're going into fear mode. They're going into panic mode. You don't realize it. Brendan talked a little bit about it, but he didn't get into the science. We've got to shift out of fear. We have to shift out of panic. We have to do it inside our businesses, on our businesses, and with our clients. When you visualize, and for those of you who think I'm about to do meditation, I swear to God we're not doing meditation today, okay? I promise, right? When you visualize, you are using the prefrontal cortex. That's your rational brain. There's no fear. There's no panic. There's no adrenaline rushes. All right? So I'll make this really simple. Visualization in and on a business with clients avoids the freak out. We get better decisions, quicker, rational, executable. Does anybody have any questions on this? This is about as extensive a jargon as I'm going to get. Good? Okay. Question. How many of you have employees? 1/3. Okay. How many of you are an employee? Awesome. Okay. This is really tough to read, and I'm more than happy to give this to you after. And by the way, at the end of this, guys, there'll be a handout, a cheat sheet with the Cliff Notes, so you don't need to write anything, okay? And please don't mind, he's videotaping me, for me, to learn. This is called servant leader mindset, and it's the idea that the lowest men on the totem pole, as we used to say, which I think is not correct anymore, right? The lowest person on that is the most important person. So now we talk about the intern all the way up to senior management. Now I'm going to shift your brains today on this one because servant leadership is about delegating to learn, letting failures happen, getting out of the weeds. For those of you that said you had employees, how many of you are an owner? There you go. All right, it's going to be fun today, for you especially. Okay, what we're going to do, we're not going to sit during this. I know you just were asked to get up with Brendan. I get it. But there's something to be said for standing, and somebody out there justified it. Actually, here's the science again. We stand for a reason. It's not just for fun, and we talk about the blood and all that, okay? Learning, memory, winter, blood fat levels, probability of cancer. There are studies out through the NIH and other organizations on this. When you stand and do the work we're about to do, it's a game changer. All right? So with that, what I'd love you guys to do, you're just laughing with me. Everybody up. Okay, what I'd love you to do is go to the back wall, go to the side wall and over here. If you don't see a chart that you can use, bring a pen, please, or a pencil. And I have some. We will give you a chart. Does anybody not have a writing utensil because you're all electronic? I know. You're a CPA. Of course you have a writing utensil.
I got my pen.
How are you? I know. In your pocket, right? All right. If you don't find a board, raise your hand. That you can do. All right. Let's get some boards over here. Oh. Here you go. You can grab a couple. Okay. I'm coming over. All right. Here we go. Here you guys go. One per person. Oh, yeah, guys. You are on your own. You need one too? Okay. Go ahead, grab them from the table. Absolutely. More than enough. Anybody else need one? Yeah, no sharing. Hey, by the way, no cheating. I don't know. I have pencils. I'm going a little old school.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else need a pen or a pencil? There you go.
Appreciate that. I'll grab that and a pencil. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I know, you guys with your remarkable tabs, right? Yeah. Hi, how are you? It's so nice to see familiar faces. Okay, here's the deal. I mean it, no cheating. You guys can laugh, but no cheating. I want you to turn around, and in your organization, I don't care if you're the owner or the employee, this does not matter. I want you to write the names of the people in the positions in the cells. Look left and look above. Look left to the level of authority. Look above to the area of the business. If you don't know the name of the person because you're part of a huge organization, that's fine. Just put a question mark. And start writing. You guys good? Okay. There's space over here if you want the light. Okay. Need a pencil? All you have to do is ask. You're so welcome. Absolutely. Thirty seconds. Be nice to your brain. Don't worry if you get stuck. Move on to another cell. And I'm going to give you a hint. If your name is in more than half the cells, that's perfectly fine. There is no right and wrong on this exercise. For those of you that are A+ honors, overachieving people, you can put your name in all the cells if you need to. Five seconds. All right, pencils down. Oh my gosh, it feels like we're taking a test. Everybody can come back to their seat with their chart. I heard a lot of laughs over there, Dick. How many cells is your name in? That's the question.
I had to be creative. I'm a sole practitioner, so I had to figure out people like partner
that's
with and delegate to
That's
and
what I'm
stuff like
saying,
that.
right?
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. I'm
You gotta think
surprised your
through
name
it.
isn't in everything.
Well, because I partner with some people, and my wife does some stuff, and I
Okay.
didn't finish it all, but I put the attorney I referred
Yeah, but
to
you
and
you
stuff.
you did a little pause there.
Well, I had to stop and think. You know, I mean, 'cause
Come
I
on.
can do everything.
Come on. No, that's exactly it, right? Okay. Did anyone have a heart palpitation with that exercise? Anybody get nervous, blood boil, sweat, nothing? Okay, that's the point. That's the point. What you just did is an exercise in showing what could be delegated, what isn't, how much you just are overloading yourselves. How many of you are more than half the cells? How many of you have your name? Yeah, exactly, right? Now, come on, let's be honest. If you thought about it, you'd be like, that's why I'm crazy. That's why I'm Gumby. I get pulled every which way. By standing and doing a visual exercise, you don't have fear. You might have a little twinge of something, but you don't have fear, okay? This exercise, I've been doing this for years, so if any of you have done this before, I apologize, but not really. The fact is this exercise is something that you can do with no fear. You can hand to your people on your team or your providers and say, I can't do this by myself anymore. Now you tell me where you can fill the gaps. We spent less than 5 minutes on that for you to brain dump, to communicate on something that is probably pretty overwhelming in your day-to-day when you get back to the office. All right? This is my point. I'm not going to sit here and harp on this. I'm just going to prove it through exercises. You guys can take that back, use it over and over, and I promise you it's in the handout, so if you want to repeat that. Ooh, before I do that, does anybody have any questions on that? Yeah. Yeah, define the left-hand side. Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, let me try to define it. If I'm not answering your question, you can tell me. So decision maker is the buck stops with that person, right? At the end, the people underneath them will not actually execute or implement something without that person giving the nod, right? I think that's the easiest one. The difference between the manager and the coordinator. The manager has authority, and the manager can manage up. And the decision maker will listen. The coordinator has a lot less authority. They're really there to just pull it all together. So let's say you have let's pick an easy one. We're going to hire somebody, okay? The decision maker decides we're going to hire somebody. The manager is the one that figures out the job description, the money, all that fun stuff. The coordinator is the one that puts out the job ad. And the implementer is the one that just makes sure that everything's working along the way and they're getting resumes. Does that help?
Yeah.
Was there confusion between the manager and the coordinator?
It's the provider.
Oh, gosh. I could have half of you guys speak on this. So I'm a big, big fan of using outside resources. So a provider could be your IT. Is that what you were guessing? Absolutely. Yeah. It could also be remote. I know a bunch of you guys are using remote part-time people. That could be a provider as well. Okay. Second idea, I'm going to give you guys a break. We're not going to actually do an exercise in this. When you think about your businesses, and I'm going to be honest, when you think about your lives, let's go past the business too, right? It's always about the integration of the two. We're always looking for ways to cut down the work, to live, to breathe, to enjoy, okay? This philosophy has not died. I created this years ago. I was trying to get my brain visualized, right? Like, what am I doing when I'm looking at all the businesses we're working with, and how am I doing it so that I can tell you guys how to do this? Every part of your business, this is how it goes. You look at an area of your business that you absolutely do not like how it's going, and you think, IDEOS. One, how can I integrate systems to send data between the two systems so I don't have to do the work and there's no human error? D, how do I delegate this to somebody else? One, because I don't want to do it. More importantly, maybe somebody else should be learning how to do it. So let me delegate it to them and let them ask me the questions. E, this is the fun one. Who's read McGowan, Essentialism? Has anybody here read Essentialism? Of course you have. Of course, you and me, baby. Okay, Essentialism. Focus on that one thing, eliminate the rest. So elimination comes in two places. One is eliminate, I'm going to stop doing this. This is not productive, this is not good for the business, this is not good for my team, I'm done. Or the other is automation. It's much easier to automate than it is to eliminate, because eliminate's a mind game, right? You fear if you let go. O is for outsourcing, that goes back to the providers. right? What can I get out of the house? Give it to somebody who has the passion, the capacity, and the skill to do. And last is, how do I recalibrate my staff into better positions to take on the work that should be done? I IDEOS everything right down to getting my daughter into college, okay? Getting my husband to, I don't know, clean the outside area, right? Think about everything in this format, and you'll automatically start to streamline. This actual concept is based on like a little bit of a Lean Six Sigma, but it's made so simple that you cannot not follow it. Any questions on this? No? Okay. This is on the Cliff Notes as well. Is this still called Cliff Notes, by the way, for the young people here? I think I just dated myself again. Okay. All right. This one we're going to do again. Yes, go ahead for the QR code. Grab your phones. Let's do this, and I will explain as we do. If you're already still on the board with the stickies, what you need to do is move it until you get to a blue section where it's blue and it has ID on the left side and it has a bar above. So it's right below what we were just playing with. Okay. What I do is not rocket science with businesses, all right? I do this all the time. The only difference is I'm not emotionally attached as much. Frankly, I do get attached, but that's for another day, okay? When you have staff, when you have your own mind, when you have to integrate, and by the way, I do org design all the time where most of you are on 1 to 2 boards. You might coach a soccer team, you might run your business, and yeah, you might be dad and whatever else, right? Married. You got a lot going on. The 4 whys is super important to visualize. Okay. How many of you use, let's just have fun for a second, how many of you use Monday, ClickUp, Trello, Asana, a board? How many of you use that to do business planning? Oh, my youngins? Whoa. Okay, how many of you use Excel to route down your business ideas? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wow, you guys, your brains must be busting. I don't know how they're not smoking. Okay, here's the deal. When you think of an idea, I don't care if it's a shiny object idea or it's not, you need to write it down. And then you need to define this. And the reason you need to do this is once you do this, you can give it to anybody on your team. You can give it to your providers. You can give it to your coach if you have a coach. You can give it to a peer and say, is this crazy or what? And by the way, how do I prioritize? I think all of you have great ideas. Again, I'm not doing rocket science. I think you have great ideas. I think the problem is we don't know exactly why we should be doing them, and we don't know the order. We don't know the why, and we don't know the order. So this 4 section here, and I'm going to have you do this because I need you to have muscle memory again, okay? Remember the muscle memory, learning, cognitive thinking, right? Why, who, and when. And by the way, it's very specific. This is the order for your brain. This is the order. If you can't tell yourself why you would do something, put it away. It has no purpose. By putting away, I mean put it written down though, please, guys. Keeping this stuff in your heads, I'm just, how many of you have a client with dementia or Alzheimer's? How many? Okay. It's horrible. Would you say it's terrible to watch? Okay. I not only have that in my, here we go. All right, let's go into this chart. Did anybody not get into it that knows QR? Let's do the QR again. Okay. What I want you to do, for muscle memory's sake, is I want you to double click inside of one of the cells again. Somebody already reorganized this. I love it. Who's Ouch Mouse? Ooh, look at Spooter. Okay. Look at these names. When you double click inside of a cell, you can type anything you want. What I want you to do is write the word in the what. I want you to write one idea that you'll take away from today. Not from now, just the whole day. One idea that you might want to implement. I want to show you what you guys are doing again. Somebody wrote, am I okay? I don't know who that was, but if you need a hug, I'm here. Maybe that was Brendan. He was on a plane. Oh, wow. You guys are reorganizing the board. Who's remodeling my board? Look at what's going on. Okay, let me do it differently. Stop for a sec. It's okay. It's all fine. Best laid plans, guys. It's all good. When you write down ideas, has anybody ever done the sticky note exercise on a wall? Where you take all your ideas and put a sticky, I know, Dick, you've probably done it. Deb Fox used to do it all the time, right? The whole idea of the sticky note exercise was the same idea, right? We stand, we activate prefrontal cortex, we throw things on the wall, and then we start to organize and sequence them. But the beauty of it is somebody else can walk next to us and they can move it and say, you know what? I think based on what I'm hearing about you, this comes first before that. Brandon really keyed this up. He had no idea, right? With clients even, this is huge. Now, I'm going to really date myself on this one. When I was at Smith Barney in my early 20s, in this building actually, we had cards. And we had cards around charity, children, and so forth. And we put 2 decks of those cards in front of the clients, the spouse, partners, and they organized everything differently to each other. It's no different in business. You guys are struggling in your own little worlds, in your own heads, and what you're not doing is you're not putting it up there and letting somebody else come non-emotionally and reorganize it for you. Or a staff person that might say, listen, I know you really want to do this, but we have this first. And you'll be like, yeah, I forgot about that. Anybody still having fun up there? Okay. All right. So let me ask again. Is anyone using a business planning board? Does anybody do business strategy for their business here? Is that why you guys do? Good. Is anybody here in the position of, who's an owner? Raise your hand again. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, this is because you got to learn. Who's doing business strategy for you if you're not? Anyone? Anyone who want to? I'm sorry. What? Who's doing it?
People who own more.
Who own more of the business than you. Yeah. How's that feel when they don't share it?
Shared.
It's shared? The process. I mean, like they decide what's going to be done, when it's going to be done, and then they ask you to adopt?
To a certain extent.
Yeah. How's that feel? Do you like that? You might like it.
It's difficult to decide between feeling left out or feeling like there's already too many chefs in the kitchen. So
That, absolutely.
depends on the day you ask me.
Absolutely. And do you want to be in the line of, I won't say, yes. How many of you, this is, okay, I'm not going to ask this because this will feel awful. What I'm seeing systemically is lack of engagement of the younger staff. Okay? They're working with you, but they're not totally engaged. And what the owners are saying, or the executive, let's say this, is they're saying, well, they're not doing critical thinking. They're not coming to me with great ideas. They're not taking it and running with it. They just want a job. It's 9 to 5. Like, all these stories, right? They're not engaged because they're not engaged. You want to give up some of the work. You want to delegate. You want to grow. You want to be profitable. You want to hire multiple. You got to engage. 65% of us are visual learners. If you're not visualizing what is up here and sharing it transparently, the clock is ticking. Just to be fair, the clock is ticking. It's ticking on your own brain and your memory. It's ticking also on your team and them engaging and helping you grow. And by the way, it's ticking with clients. Organic growth is down across the board in this industry. M&A is up, but organic growth is down. The minute you start activating this and you start engaging your people and you start getting that good vibe, guess what happens? Organic growth grows. We used to have it. I'm old enough to say I remember when organic growth was awesome. I know there's noise out there, but this breaks through all the noise. Always good vibes. All right, let me go back. Sorry, I'm going to burn your eyes a little bit here. Okay. How am I doing on time? Okay. We're going to be early. All right, benefits. The benefits of visualization and the exercises, which are actually business boosters, is less fear, more energy, more accomplished, quicker results, right? More aligned, happy team. I think you guys know this. But here's the takeaways. By doing visualization of roles, which is what you guys just did with the big chart, with the idea of IDEOS for everything in the business, just keep applying it slowly but surely. Kenzen, little small wins, okay? And the 4 W's. What, why, who, and when. And this might scare you. I can guarantee you will grow. I can guarantee you will be more productive and more profitable. And that builds a valuable legacy. So for those of you that want that path to the sunset and the succession plan and all that, this is the game. This is the game. And it's not hard. It's a 3M poster board. It's a couple stickies. This is not tough stuff, okay? All right. I know this was tough love. I know a lot of you don't know who I am, but this is how I rock and roll. Do you guys have any questions before I let you guys end early? Yes.
So, have you ever done a before and after with this? Because if I did this 10 years ago, my name would have been every single box. And today it's still the majority, but it's not every one. And I'm just wondering, do you see that evolution?
Yes. The reason we're doing this today, I have to thank a client because I did this maybe 10 or 11 years ago at FPA, Pennsylvania, and he just pulled it out with me last year when he hired me and showed me, and he was so proud. I'm not with businesses enough. I'm there to teach and transform and let you guys go, but I do hear it works. That's pretty nice. I mean, that's why I'm giving it to you guys, because honestly, you should pat yourselves on the back. The minute you take yourself out of one cell, it's like a huge, wouldn't you say it's momentum though? Like once you do it once in one area, it starts to want you to do.
Yeah, the people who work for me would look at it and say, why is your name in so many boxes? And I said, you should have been here 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Five years from now,
Yeah.
hopefully my name's in one box maybe.
Yeah, and what about sharing that and seeing if they want your boxes? You know, like we talk about younger people, and by the way, when I say younger, I'm not talking about age, guys, okay? I'd like to think that I'm still got a little pep in my step here, right? Younger people want to take over from the owners and the executives. Let them, right? Thank you, Dick. Yes?
Are you seeing those kinds of arrangements as a viable succession plan relative to the private equity path?
What type of arrangements? Can you elaborate a little?
Yeah, where you're basically passing on ownership to the next cohort, the younger.
Absolutely.
Internally.
Absolutely. You want to hear a story? I'll tell you a real story. Miami firm, obviously won't tell you the name because you would know the founder. And they have a younger person. I'm going to guess he's in his mid-30s. I don't ask the HR question, okay? And he had a 15% ownership, and the owner obviously had the rest, the majority owner. And in fact, it just happened this morning, so I'm very excited. So basically, we went through these exercises. And these exercises, this owner was so fearful of losing their value. They didn't know what they were going to do if it wasn't about the business, okay? And by the way, this was a woman. It's very important, a very big difference, okay? I see this, to be fair, more with men than I do with women, right? This was a woman. She was scared by doing the role charting and by doing like a little bit of the IDEOS and everything else, absolutely. And so what happened last night, this morning, private equity will be a silent investor, give the money to that younger owner, and he will buy her out 100% by the end of the year. It's taken 10 years to get there, 4 months of visualization, we were done. There's a story. Yep, and I can tell you more. It's a great question. And just to be clear, that's silent investor. There's so much VC, PE money out there, it's crazy. And investment bankers that'll just say, hey, I'll privately invest in you. This is silent. They will not manage the business. I just met somebody last night who came from a family office firm here in New England who goes in with money from other family offices, private invest, but then runs the business, scales it, and then walks out. It's crazy. It's probably 20 years old. Anyway, any other questions? Yes.
So as someone whose name is in every single one of these boxes,
Yes.
I just launched my own firm a little over a year ago. What do you like? Where should I focus on first in terms of delegating or thinking about hiring help to take some things off the plate?
Absolutely. Do you know what you like doing the least?
Compliance.
Awesome. Check. So then I'll be you for a second. The issue with compliance might be cost. So as a small growing business, sometimes we have to go with providers that are maybe overseas, maybe not the best of the best. Maybe they're more doing the grunt work and not the strategy, but that's a start. And that's all you need to do is start. Yep. I always pick off the things I don't want to do, right? Because, by the way, for me, I'm an ex-athlete that can't, some of you guys know I've had 2 back surgeries. I want dopamine. I want endorphins. Like, I'm all for that. The minute you delegate, even the administrative, you get that kick, and that kick opens up what? Prefrontal cortex, back to good decisions. That help? Okay. Is that good advice? Because you've done it. You've shed, right? Pick one and just go. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, you guys, listen, any questions after this, use the QR, book a call. Don't worry, throw them at me. I have had everything thrown at me, including stuff you don't even want to know about with personal life. But anyway, don't be shy. I'm around, okay? Thank you so much. I'll leave this up for the handout too, guys. Okay?